Well, after a pretty productive day on site yesterday with Jeff and the rest of the guys at Allen Geomatics, getting back on site today. We actually got cut short yesterday afternoon with the flights, so today we're going to get the flights in that we planned to yesterday. And the weather is looking great. So we got a bright sunny day, nice blue skies going on for the most part. So low winds and everything, so the flight should go no problem today. All right, well, we got the base all set up. So now we'll go ahead and get the drone out, get it set up, go ahead and get this thing in the air. The obvious advantage to using a drone on this project is the vegetated areas. We've got most of the site, or a good portion of the site is covered in woods. I'm able to fly that in minutes. And then the guys that are actually gonna be on site are out here for days. I mean, at least probably 3 to 4 days just in the woods alone to get the on the ground topo completed. All right, cool, everything's aligned and good to go. You know, the time that I've put into this so far equates to maybe about a day's worth of time total with everything. So where Jeff and his group, the conventional survey methods that they use, they've got a little bit more time in the office as far as planning. And then also their time in the field. I believe Jeff said they're gonna be out here for about 5 days trying to do the topo that's involved with this site. You know, this is definitely not about which one's better than the other. Just, it's all about the tools that surveyors use in the field. Some have an application that work well to one situation, and then other situations you have equipment that works well there. So I'm curious to see what the comparisons actually look like. We finished up our mission. Everything looked good while the bird was in the sky. The next thing we're gonna do is actually check the data. We have a quality control module in MD Infinity that has a trajectory quality control portion to it, and then also a LiDAR coverage preview. So that's what we're gonna do next. We're gonna pull the data, take it to the truck, get the laptop out, take a look at everything, make sure we got all the coverage that we're looking for. We finished up the trajectory quality control, and then we moved on to the LiDAR coverage preview, uploaded all the files, ran the process, and so now we're gonna do that preview. And we have a data viewer that's also built into MD Infinity Desktop that'll now pull the LiDAR files up. Now the LiDAR has not been georeferenced and processed with the base station information, so there's going to be separation between the strips. So this is not necessarily usable data other than just checking the coverage of the site to make sure that we have everything that we thought that we did. We're going to jump in here and take a look at the point cloud right quick, and I can already tell just based on the coverage area that we have that everything looks good. We've got the complete data set here, so that means that we had a successful mission in the field and we can head back to the office and actually get to processing the data for real. Well, since I'm all wrapped up with the flights today, now we're going to bring Jeff back out here with Allen Geomatics to get with his crew that's actually in the woods. And we're going to follow them around and see what their task is looking like this afternoon.
We're getting ready to start day 3 today of our field survey. We're in the woods today. We're finished with all the open areas. Today what you're going to see is, you know, there's probably 500 to 600 shots for us to get on a project this size. You know, what you're going to see in the span of, 15 minutes is maybe 10 shots locating the top of a bank of a creek, the opposite side of the creek just to define that channel, and maybe some ground shots up into the woods. Hey, Jonathan. Looks like y'all making good progress today.
Good.
Good.
Doing good today.
Good.
How's it going?
Yeah, doing great. How are
Good.
you?
Good seeing you again.
Good to see you.
Definitely.
Got Luke across the creek here, getting that side so we can define the boundary of the creek here. Got Elias up there at the instrument, collecting all the data points.
And so kind of looking through here, man, I can tell like there's definitely some cutting that's having to go on, but it doesn't look too thick in here. It doesn't look too bad really for being up in the woods. Let's talk a little bit about the differences as far as the conventional locations you're doing and the point cloud data that we're collecting with the LiDAR scanner.
All right, well, you can see this is the big hill we've been talking about, and it's, I don't know, it's about 40 feet high there. So we've got collected data points along the top of the ridge and about halfway down. Some here along the base of the bank. If you can see these red flags, that's where we've already taken some shots. And we've got to blend that on in to the creek bank here behind us.
And so kind of looking at the, I'm gonna say the distances between your shots, it leaves a lot of little small undulations and information kind of left to be located, and that's what we actually pick up with the LiDAR. So, you know, we're both going to have surfaces that are easily usable by, you know, whoever's doing the design work for grading. Yep. But if it's necessary, we have the refined data from the point cloud that we could always introduce. You know, typically I'm gonna hate to say this, but we dumb the data down a little bit because it is so rich and there's so much information that we usually dumb it down to a grid a little bit tighter than what you locate, you know, definitely. I mean, we use sometimes 5 foot, 10 foot, depends on just kind of the terrain and what's needed. But just as a difference, you know, it's kind of neat to be out in the woods and see what we have, and then when we get back and look at the point cloud, it's gonna be interesting, I think, to compare.
Really looking forward to seeing how much more data you get.
Yeah, definitely. Jeff, thanks for having us out. For sure, I appreciate getting out in the woods with you guys today. I can definitely say it's been a while since I have. The drone thing pretty much keeps me on the pavement or in the open field, so don't really spend a lot of time in the woods anymore, but can't say I miss it.
Yeah, we're wrapping up day 3 here. Got about another day and a half to go, and we'll see what we got.
All right, well, let's go ahead and trek on out of here and get back to the cars, I guess.
Sounds good.
My next step in the workflow is going to be take all the data back to the office. My plan with comparing the data, we're going to do some obvious single point comparisons to the point cloud, you know, Jeff's single points and then our point cloud data. And then also we're going to do a little bit of data processing, generating some surfaces from the point cloud data, generating some surfaces from the conventional data, and give a comparison there, just see where they differ. We'll be able to see, I think, a little bit more detail in the surface that we create with the point cloud, but that's just the nature of that tool.